Hey folks, well as you know, we just got done with all the Northwest Sportsman shows here. Wanted to thank everybody that came by the Bi-Mart booth and said hi. This is one of the few times of the year that we get to get out and talk with our viewers, and we just have a blast talking and hanging out with you guys and getting input about the show. And as you know, this year we made it all about the kids. We had them go take, any of the kid fish they caught at the little kids' trout pond. They got to bring their catch over, get a picture with us. We posted them all on the Lunker Junkies TV Facebook page, and just had an absolute blast with that. I don't know that we'll ever do another sportsman show any other way. That was so much fun. And I want to give a big shout out to Bi-Mart for always giving us a platform to do this stuff with the kids. We do a lot of stuff with the kids in our Get Kids Hooked program, and Bi-Mart always goes above and beyond for us anytime we have a project with the kids, and we're just really thankful for that because we couldn't do it without them. Also, Bendable Products, Pro Cure, Max Lure, bunch of them stepped up, and all our sponsors were behind us on this. Everybody pitched in a little bit, and just had a really good time. Sconix Outdoors donated some towards it. It was just so much fun hanging out with the kids. But as luck would have it, we got one of our Get Kids Hooked shoots this week's episode. We got little Alexander, and we brought his family out. Got him into some really nice trout on a local reservoir here in the Roseburg area, Berry Creek Reservoir. So stay tuned. We got a great show lined out for you.
Suck that pinky in.
A tea drinking pinky.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be eye candy for the ladies in this operation. That's funny, huh? Hey, good morning, folks. This week we're kind of doing a getting back to the basics episode. You know, been getting a lot of questions and comments about people that aren't avid anglers but would like to go out and just do a little fishing. So we're gonna do a little trout fishing. We're out here on a local reservoir today. We're using power bait, and we're kind of taking power bait to the next level. Buzz Ramsey called me here a while back and said, man, start putting a corky under your hook on that power bait. You know, when you put your power bait on, it may float up a little bit, but you add a corky in there, you get your full 18 inches of flotation out of your power bait, and it's really been a banner little setup for us. So we're running a little treble, little corky, try some different colors. We got about 18 to 20 inches a leader. And then we got our weight on a slider. Now, one thing with power bait fishing, it's very important to have your weight on a slider, because when the trout start eating it, you don't want them to feel that weight. You want them to kind of get it in their mouth, swim away with it a little bit, and get it good. So that weight on a slider is pretty necessary. But that's the rigging we're using today. We'll get out there and see if we can put some nice trout on for you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Lunker Junkies TV.
It's on! Salmon shark! Salmon shark!
Yeah,
What do you say?
This is a real quality fish here. What a trophy, huh?
Oh, look at that. We just got into a big bunch of fish. Jen's fighting one right now.
Whoa! Real beast. Lunker Junkies TV is brought to you by Bi-Mart. Get ready for your season for less. Pro Cure Bait Scents and Cures. Ruthlessly effective. Yakima Bait. Home of the Rooster Tail. Max Lure. Your one stop for the best kokanee and walleye gear. Bait Buttons, because presentation matters. B&R Tackle. Inventor of the Holy Worm. The Leader Feeder. Wiggle Fin. SoCal Reels. Mountain House. Sconix Outdoors. Reels Clean. Tough Line with its round profile, the best braid in the industry. Northwest Sportsman Magazine, chock full of tips and tricks, and Kinware Buick GMC, where you will find the best deals in Oregon.
Yeah. And that's
Good size one here. Yeah, nice bow.
a nice one, brother.
Yep. Yeah, that power bait corky is doing real well. There you go. Beautiful fish. Oh, we are using the corky and the power bait, and it's working beautifully. And as you can see, I caught a really nice trout. Very first cast of the day. Right on. Beauty.
Hey folks, welcome back. One thing we hear a lot when we're out talking to folks is people would like to get into the world of downrigger fishing, especially you kokanee and trout guys that go out and troll a lot. Here in this next segment, we're going to show you some more fishing, but we're also going to show you a little segment I shot a while back that shows actually how downriggers came about. Back before downriggers, this is what people did. And it's a really inexpensive way to get into the world of downrigger fishing. Super simple. Stay tuned. Trouble? You having trouble? Hey guys, welcome back. So as I said, we're out here actually catching some nice quality trout. One of the biggest mistakes people make using power bait is not using a big enough ball. You want about a dime-sized ball of bait on there. Completely cover those little number 10 trebles. And then the Yakima bait corky right underneath it. And we're using one of these little booger bobber stops out of the B&R tackle stuff. Slide that down there, hold it in place. Little, about a 1/8 ounce weight on a slider. And that's the setup. Dynamite little rig. We got, what, 5 in the box? And pretty hot little bite today.
It's that one.
Is it a good one? All right. Here you go. So wedge that part right in there, and then grab the rod right here, just above the reel, right there. There you go. Is that better? There you go. Fish on. Okay, hold the pull out this way and bring him over to the side here. Ooh, that's a good one. Hey, that's a big fish. Do the old ESPN pump, you know what that is? No. Reel down, pull up, reel down, pull up. There you go, feel. There you go. Ooh, that's a good one. Keep feeling. Keep feeling. Nice. Okay, stop feeling. Stop feeling. Another quality fish. Nice one, buddy.
Good job, Alexander. It just slowed it.
Yeah, not quite as bad as the last time.
Yeah. You know I can hold any fish.
Sounds like confidence to me. I'm going to show you a really slick little way to take a meat stick and make it makeshift downrigger system. Now this is actually how downriggers came about. Some guy took a meat stick and a line. I don't even think they had line counter reels back then, but a heavy weight to get his stuff down to the depth, and over the years it evolved into what you know today as downriggers. But for those of you that don't have downriggers or are fishing on a buck budget, go to a yard sale, get you a couple old meat sticks. We're using the Llama Glass Insane Saltwater series. These meat sticks work great for it, but these are just, when I say meat stick, I'm talking about these heavy duty like sturgeon or halibut rods. Or even if you got some old salmon rods laying around, take the top half off and just use the bottom half. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to set up a real easy little downrigger system, and with a line counter reel, it works awesome because you can get right down to the depth you want. So this is how we rig it up. All right, so I'm using a little B&R tackle spreaders here. Work really good for this. I got on the top, you've got a little chain, little bead chain, and then I put a snap swivel to go to the main line. And then the bead chain is going to go to your Shasta tackle release, your downrigger release. You can get these at Bi-Mart, get these just about anywhere. These are the Shasta tackle little downrigger release. So I got one open here already. So then off the bead chain part, we're going to run our release. And then at the bottom of this spreader, we're going to run our, you can run, you know, depending on how fast you're trolling, about a 16-ounce ball is perfect. I think this is about a 12. This is what I had, but it'll work. It'll get it down there. We're only trolling about a mile and a half an hour today. So that's the setup. You got your main line going to the meat stick, to the line counter reel. You got your weight to get down, and then you got your release. So you just clip your line into that release just like you would a downrigger. And then use your line counter to get down to whatever depth you want. Stick your meat stick in the rod holder, and it really works out good if you have two rod holders right next to each other, because then once you clip, you know, let your other line out there 25, 50 feet, however you want, clip it into the release, and then let your makeshift downrigger down, then you got your other rod and rod holder next to it. Otherwise, just set it next to it, but either way works. But that's your makeshift hillbilly downrigger system. Worked real good for you.
We'll be right back for more Lunky TV.
Close enough. All right, folks, so the bite slowed down on us a little bit here. And another trick, so we're still running our power bait, our Yakima bait corky. And Procure's got this new super sauce out. This is a trout flavor, and this stuff will stick to anything. It'll stick to lures, it'll stick to a piece of cut plug, it'll stick to bait, power bait. It's got a tactifier in it, kind of like chainsaw oil. So it's a dynamite product. So sometimes when the bite slows down a little bit, I'll go ahead and throw a little of that super sauce right on the power bait and give it just that little extra scent trail. See if we can't stir one up. But check out the new super sauce by Procure. Steve Lynch and Phil Perrone came up with this product, and it is dynamite. We've been having really good luck with it. So he's using a different color power bait. I always run the rainbow colored power baits, whether it's the pink, blue, white, or the chartreuse. You know, I just have a lot more better luck with the rainbow colors. And then he's got a little chartreuse with a red polka dot corky. And so far he's ahead. He's caught three nice trophy-sized trout today. So we'll juice his up with a little super sauce. And look at that, even with that ball being wet, look at that super sauce stick to that power bait. Just a dynamite product.
Dynamite?
Dynamite! There, buddy, there you go. You are fishing, fishing! It even sticks to the rail of my boat really good. There he is.
Real one.
Oh, wait. Get it again. Yep, he's on there real. Real. Nice! On his own, guys. Sweet.
Real.
Good job, buddy.
It's all right.
Is it a good one?
Yeah, it's strong.
Nice.
Oh, I don't need someone to hold my fish.
No,
There
you
you
can
go.
do it.
Here, wedge that right there. There you go. Now, real.
Good job.
That's what you should do.
Oh, he's
Put
pulling
your
on you.
Real, honey, real.
You got that one all on your own. I didn't even have to help you. See there? Oh, that's a good one, too.
Wow, yeah. Good job.
Really good. That might be the pig of the day so far.
Get it.
Oh,
There he is. Nice, buddy.
good job. Wow, that is a nice one.
Yep, that's a good one.
Whoa.
I don't want to. No, he said. That's a good one. Now put it in. Oh yeah, I gotta get us out. Yeah. All right, let's bring him up. I gotta get us out. Is my prop out? Is it off the ground? That's a good one. Woo! Every time, huh?
Can I help you get
And you get pressure on him that time, he just spin it on you.
The end.
So we knew we had this Get Kids hook shoot coming up, and we knew we were going to do this show with Alexander and his family. So Roger, Felipe, his son Jim, and I brought our boats out. We scouted it a few weeks earlier, got into some nice trout, and a little bit more hands-on hand, one-on-one demo of what we're using and how we're getting into these things. And I know power bait fishing and stuff for trout seems pretty simple, but like anything else is a right way, and not necessarily a wrong way, but lots of little things that can help you get into not only more trout, but bigger, more quality trout. Stay tuned. Decent little trout. As what we're using here today is I got a slinky weight on a slider, 6-pound test on my ultralight, about 26, 28 inches a leader. And we got about a number 8 treble hook on there, and we're using Corkies. We're using power bait, Berkeley power bait, and we're using a Yakima Corky to get a little bit more flotation out of that hook. There's several different colors of power bait. I got some pink, I got some kind of raspberry sherbet. I like the rainbow. With the chartreuse, the orange, and the yellow. I have really good luck with this rainbow power bait. For you guys that like power bait fish, this is a really good method. And one of the mistakes people make a lot is not putting a big enough ball on there. You want a pretty good little bait of this power bait. Now you don't have to go quite as big with the Corky, because that Corky really gives it the flotation that you need. But they like a pretty good little ball of that power bait. And so I'll take my treble, I get that rolled up in a ball, and I'll actually just push that hook right up inside there, and then spend a second and kind of pinch it on there and make sure you get it on there good so that it stays on when you cast. It's actually pretty tough stuff if you use it right. So that's the rigging right there, a Corky and a little bit of rainbow power bait on a number 6, number 8 treble. There's pretty good sized trout in this lake right now, so a little bit bigger hook. If you're catching smaller trout, you can go down on your hook size a little bit, but that's the ticket right there. And your slinky weight on a slider so that they don't feel it, because they're going to munch at it for a second. You want to leave some slack in your line so that they can kind of take it. They want to eat it, but the second they feel that weight, they're done. So you want to leave a little slack in your line, let them kind of take it. When you see your slack start coming tight, that's when you set the hook. And that's your power bait method for you guys for you power bait guys out there. I know there's a lot of people that fish power bait, and just like anything else with power bait, there's a right and a wrong way to do it. And putting that Yakima Corky on there is a huge advantage fishing power bait. Now, what I'm fishing here is a shade line. I'm on the south side of the lake. It's a pretty warm day, water temperature 70 degrees in places. And you know, you get down just a few degrees cooler. It's fall, you know, it's been pretty hot out. The sun's back behind me, and there's a shade line coming out off the bank about 50 feet. And I'm pitching right on that shade line. And that's always a good idea, because those trout will get right in that shade line and use that for cover to crash on bait fish. That's where I'm finding them. I spent an hour and a half up on a point, caught that one, and wasn't doing any good, so came down here and found this shade line coming out on the lake, giving them some cover. And that seems to be the ticket. So always look for those little variations, you know, shade lines or cover, something they can use for cover. That's where you'll find those big trophies. On the corky and power bait, this one might be a little more decent here. Oh yeah, a decent little trout. Beautiful little rainbow. All right, so the bite slowed down on me a little bit. One thing I'm doing different now is using the new ProCure Super Sauce. This is the Trout. This new concoction Steve and Phil came up with, this will stick right to bait. So it'll stick to like eggs, power bait, any of that. And that last big one, I threw a little of this on there and it got a bite kicked right back up. So a little bit of that on there, smear it around just for a little extra scent on that power bait. That's the ticket.
Give me a big old smile. Yeah, you got a good smile. Sweet.
Born to be fishermen. We were born to be fishermen. So come along with me on Lunker Junkie.